The PlayStation 4 has been doing pretty well in terms of sales so far, and it was announced a couple of days ago that the PlayStation 4 hit over or reached over 50 million units worldwide in terms of sales. And that's actually pretty good. But a question that some people probably have on their mind is, will the PlayStation 4 eventually surpass the PlayStation 2 in terms of worldwide sales? Now, the PlayStation 2, as we know, is probably the best-selling console of all time. It was released back in March. Well, it was originally released back in March of 2000 in North America. I believe that was when it first was released in the gaming markets in general. And since then, it's done pretty well in terms of sales. And the thing about the PlayStation 2 is that it took a while for the PS2 just to hit over 50 million sales. I believe it wasn't announced until 2009, that around the end of '08, that PlayStation 2 had reached over 50 million units in terms of sales worldwide. Now, the PlayStation 4 was released not too long ago. It was actually released a few years ago, back in I believe it was late 2013, and ever since its release, it's only been about roughly over 3 years, and it's already reached 50 million sales, and that being due to such a high demand, despite the pricing of the PlayStation 4 is such a high demand for it. And not only that, this past month in November, Sony released the PlayStation 4 Pro, and that actually contributed to making people want to buy the PlayStation 4 console even more. And even though the price averages around maybe $400 or roughly over that, it's something that people would like to get, because unlike the original PlayStation 4, game console only includes 500 gigabytes of storage. The PlayStation 4 Pro includes 1 terabyte in terms of storage. Now, with that being said, it's a pretty cool console. It's something that a lot of people would like, and something that's worth its value and how much it's worth. But you look at the Xbox One S. The Xbox One S, has the 1 terabyte. It also has a console that's 2 terabytes. So we know it's going to be a matter of time before Sony releases a PlayStation 4 console or a PlayStation 4 Pro console that features 2 terabytes as well. But, it's impressive to see that, the PlayStation 4 has already hit 50 million units, even though it's only been out for roughly over 3 years. Now, since it took the PlayStation 2 almost a decade, to reach that amount, it's really interesting to see whether or not the PlayStation 4 console in general is going to surpass that, within the next 8 or 9 years, or even before the PlayStation 5 comes out. But, one thing we know is that it's definitely something that is it's definitely something that people are starting to become more and more interested in. And in terms of competition with Microsoft, Sony is doing whatever it can to make people want to buy the PlayStation 4 Pro, especially, with the VR. The VR is another thing that's turning more people towards Sony and wanting to buy their products. But we all know it may be a matter of time before, Sony releases the PlayStation 4 that has 2 terabytes, similar to the Xbox One S, or if they decide to focus mostly on the PlayStation VR, then I guess it's the PlayStation VR, because the headset is something that looks very impressive, and it's something that a lot of people are buying. It's flying off the shelves as we speak. So whether or not PlayStation 4 will surpass PS2, time will tell. But as of right now, it looks like the PlayStation 4 is on a pretty good roll in terms of sales, and as of right now, it may surpass the PlayStation 2 sales sooner than we expect. But, the PlayStation 2, since its release, it's reached over 155 million units in terms of sales. And that wasn't reported until around, late 2011 or early 2012. So, we may have to give the PlayStation 4 console, another 8-9 years, and who knows, maybe we'll see the PlayStation 4 surpass the PS2 in terms of being the best-selling game console of all time.